Hey guys, how we doing and how we feeling today? Okay, so on this episode, we're gonna talk about and review Meghan Trainor's fifth studio album, Timeless. Now, in case you don't know who Meghan is, she's best known for her Billboard Hot 100 number one diamond certified hit, All About That Bass, which was released 10 years ago in 2014. Now, this album is a blend of mainly two subgenres, which are doo-wop and bubblegum pop. Prior to the album release, we had three singles, which were Been Like This, featuring T-Pain, To the Moon, I Wanna Thank Me, featuring Niecy Nash, and post-album release, we had Whoops. Now, the album is 44 minutes and 27 seconds long, so it's kind of your standard listening session length. Now, starting with the first track, To the Moon, the first of my highlights on the album. This was the second single, as I already said. The instrumentation, in this case the violin, immediately pulls the listener in. This is a strong opening track. This track truly sounds strikingly different from Meghan's usual type of song. Something that she said when she was going to release it. She was like, when people say you release the same song over and over again, then you drop this one, and she was right. Now, this made sense to be pushed as a single because it's pretty radio friendly. And in this song, Meghan is feeling herself, letting her husband Daryl know that she's the girl of his dreams and that her love will make him feel like he's on cloud nine. So, this is a pretty straightforward song. It's called To the Moon. It's like saying, I'm gonna take my love for you, will take you to the moon. Nothing less than that. You deserve that. Yeah, basically when you love someone so hard that you just want to make that a person feel like they're the most special person in the world. Now, the second song, Been Like This, with T-Pain. This was a lead single, as I already said. The instrumentation that kicks the song off gives off a strong retro sound. This song sounds like classic Meghan Trainor, which is a good thing. T-Pain's signature autotune vocals are a right fit with this track. Normally, I would be against autotune, but this is, as I'm saying, this is T-Pain's thing. So, in this case, it does fit. This was a safe yet solid choice to be the song to kick off this new era because I already said this feels like a classic, your go-to Meghan Trainor song. But to kick off an era, even though I would have preferred something more innovative, something more fresh, like To the Moon is, this song was a solid choice to be the lead single. And in this song, Meghan and T-Pain talk about two people who are crazy about each other, and all they seem to want to do is get intimate with one another. So another straightforward song, basically, as I'm saying, two people that are over the moon for each other, and they just want to get, physical. Simple as that. Now, moving on to track number 3, Crowded Room. The instrumentation sounds similar to that of the opening track, To the Moon. And in this song, Meghan talks about how she feels about her husband. She feels like she finally found the man she doesn't want to lose, as if Cupid led them to find each other. When she's with him, she feels like they're the only two people there, even in the most crowded of places, as the title suggests. So, yeah, Meghan is so far being pretty straightforward with her lyrics. So, as I'm saying, this song, another love song. Basically, a love that is so strong that the two people feel like even if they're like amidst a multitude of people, a sea of people, they can feel like they're the only two people there because like they don't need anyone else there. Like the presence they have with each other is that strong, is that solid. Now, track number 4, Whoops, another one of my highlights. So this is a pretty formulaic pop song that works. Like normally, well, not normally necessarily, but when someone says that a pop song in this case is pretty formulaic, they can say that in a negative connotation, but in this case, I say that it's a good thing that it's formulaic. In this case, it works for this album. This is a new installment in Meghan's sassy anthem catalog. Like, for example, the lead single of her third studio album, Treat Myself, which was, what was it called? No Excuses, that's the name. The key change towards the end of the song makes it even better. And in this song, Meghan talks about an experience she had with an ex, one who did her dirty by cheating on her. When he realized that he messed up, he came crawling back to her, trying to win her back, but Meghan put him in his place. So this is a pretty fun pop song. You know, as I'm saying, it basically tells a classic story of, you know, someone who did you wrong, did you dirty, they cheated on you in this case, which is a pretty nasty thing to do, obviously. So then that person, you know, regrets their mistake and they want to win you back, but rather than falling into the trap and, you know, going along with it, which would be the easy thing to do, you decide to put them in their place, put them on blast, and let them know how you really feel about that, how you really feel about them thinking that they can fool you into something like that. Now, track number 5, Crushing, featuring Lawrence. Lawrence's vocals complement Meghan's pretty well. I actually wasn't familiar with this artist, but I was surprised that Lawrence's vocals also sound kind of similar to Meghan's. Like, when Lawrence started singing, for a second I thought that Meghan was still singing, but then I heard like difference in her vocals. So yeah, they played off each other really well. And in this song, Meghan is all about self-love, as she acknowledges that she can always count on herself if everyone else fails her. She loves the way she looks, so much so that she's crushing on herself, and knows how important it is to treat and value herself. So this is something that we should all live by. You know, like, you love yourself so much that you would be your own, like, you would crush on yourself, you know, like that deep of self-love. So yeah, that's pretty much what the song is saying. Like, you have to treat yourself, you have to value yourself, because no one is gonna do that better than yourself. You come first, self-love comes first, always. Now, track number 6, I Want to Thank Me, featuring Niecy Nash. So, Niecy Nash, the actress, is featured in this song in a pretty clever way, which was by incorporating part of her viral speech at this year's 2024's Emmys, when she said, "I want to thank me." And I actually watched the Emmys live that night, So I saw this speech as it unfolded, as it happened. And honestly, like, I thought the speech was brilliant. Like, it's it can be considered iconic at this point. Like, there's a reason why it went viral, because it's such a like badass, like self-confident thing to say. Like, I want to thank me, you know? Like, yeah, sure, I want to thank other people. It's important, but it's also important to thank myself. So by doing this, Meghan elevated Niecy's speech into a full-fledged self-love anthem, a type of song that Meghan is well known for at this point. So this up-tempo track is reminiscent of Me Too, a single from Meghan's second studio album, Thank You. And in this song, Meghan makes sure to recognize whenever she works hard, for always showing up for herself, believing in herself, and proving people wrong when they say she can't achieve a certain thing. So this is a pretty beautiful, message, obviously, because you have to thank yourself also. It's not enough to do the general thing and just thank other people. You also have to give credit where credit's due. Give credit to yourself for everything that you achieve, and especially when, as I'm saying, especially when people like to tell you like you're not gonna achieve that or this. Especially in that moment when you prove those people wrong, you have to thank yourself. Now, track number 7, Love on Hold, featuring T-Pain, another one of my highlights. This is easily the strongest track on the album. I was really impressed by the song. T-Pain appears for a second time on the album, delivering even a stronger feature. This track has the potential to be pushed as a single. And in this song, Meghan and T-Pain talk about a woman who wants to be in a serious relationship with a guy, but this guy seems to only want to see her casually. She has set her mind and lets him know that she will only take him seriously if he decides to set his desires aside and pursue her for real. So this is a pretty interesting song because there are people who won't take you seriously love-wise. Like, they maybe just want to see you, like to be around you because they want to just get intimate with you, but like intimate not in a special way, like kind of a no strings attached way. But you may see this person as someone who you want around, but like you want to have a serious relationship with them. So you're like, listen, I'm just gonna keep doing this with you until you decide, like, unless you decide to like see me that way as well, like see me in a serious way, I'm gonna stop this right now. Now, track number 8, Forget How to Love, another one of my highlights. The backing vocals here really elevate the song, and in this song, Meghan talks about an experience with an ex. There came a time when he didn't love her right anymore. His words were hurting her when they shouldn't have to. He made her feel unworthy and was just overall breaking her heart. He also wanted to bring her down and make her feel the same pain that he did. So unfortunately, there are people who, as the song entails, there are people unfortunately who are so broken that they wanna like take you down with them. Like the sip The ship is sinking, meaning them, and they want to bring you down with them. Like they want you to feel the same pain that they're feeling. Like it's that toxic. So the best thing to do, obviously, in this case, is just to move on from that person, get that person out of your life. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is also another one of my highlights on the album. Now, track number 9, Rolling, another one of my highlights. Both the production and instrumentation here are strong. And in this song, Meghan talks about men who like to look down on her and not take her any seriously. She is sick and tired of men trying to mansplain things to her and saying that they can do things better than her. Meghan also touches on double standards and how women get crucified for things that men can do without fault. So this is a pretty bold statement to make. It's not uncommon for female artists to sing about this, but still it's pretty bold of Meghan's part. Saying touching on these double standards, which are pretty ridiculous. Like, women do get crucified and punished for things that men don't. So women are like, hey, don't you see my eyes rolling, as the song says? Like, men who like to look down on women and not take them any seriously. Now, track number 10, I Don't Do Maybe. In this song, Meghan talks about an experience with an ex, someone who liked to lead her on and make her promises he didn't end up keeping. Meghan would tell him that she doesn't do maybe, so either he claimed her or she walked away. So this is a pretty similar story from a previous track, Love on Hold, because it's saying something similar. Like, Meghan is talking about an ex who didn't take her seriously. Like, he would just lead her on, he would make false promises. So she was like, okay, I've had it up to here with you. Like, either you're gonna turn this into something serious, or I'm gonna walk away. Now, track number 11, I Get It, another one of my highlights. In this song, Meghan talks about her relationship with her husband. She really gets him as he mirrors how she feels about their love. Meghan recalls the moment they knew they were in love with each other, that it was like time stopped. It's like they forgot about their exes altogether and realized they had to be together. So this is a pretty nice message, because it's like saying, hey, like saying to your partner, I get it, like I get you, I get how you feel about us, because I feel the same way. Like, all those other people we dated, like if it's the case of this song, like if the two people are married already, like Meghan and Daryl, the two people are like, hey, those other people we dated in the past, they're nothing anymore. Like, we have each other, and that's that. Now, track number 12, Sleeping on Me. In this song, Meghan talks about someone who would overlook her and not value her presence, only to then become infatuated with her. She also talks about those who doubted her and thought she would never make it to Hollywood, only for her to prove them wrong. So this touches on something similar to a previous track, which was Rolling, Meghan talking about people who will look down on her, not value her presence. But in the case of this song, it's like something romantic. Well, it has to do with love, because then that guy became like, fixated on her. But it also touches on something that is pretty common, like for artists, that a lot of people doubted them and doubted that they would have such amount of success that they would make it in Hollywood. But then those artists prove those people wrong, and they get the last laugh. Now, track number 13, Hated Here. In this song, Meghan talks about wanting to leave a certain place and going straight home with her husband and get intimate with him. So, not a lot to say here. It's pretty straightforward, yeah. Now, track number 14, Bestie. This song can feel pretty repetitive, but other than that, it's a pretty solid song. And in this song, Meghan is once again all about self-love. She wants to be her own best friend, accepting the fact that no one will be her hype girl like herself. She's the only one who has been there for herself since the very beginning, and the only one who will never let herself down. So yeah, another song about self-love by Meghan, a type of song that she is pretty well known for, as I already said. But it's a pretty important thing to say, like, you have to be your own best friend. Like, no one is gonna be more of a best friend to you than yourself. No one can see you the way you see yourself. Like, if you have enough self-love, no one else is gonna see you the way you see yourself. So you might as well be your best friend, your bestie. Now, track number 15, Doing It All For You. The key change towards the end of the song makes it even better. And in this song, Meghan talks about her relationship with her husband prior to getting married to him. She recalls being so eager for the big day to come and say I do, doing just about anything for him out of love, and simply being head over heels over him. So, yeah, I mean, a pretty nice, story here. Basically, as I already said, the story of two people who are about to get married, and they just want that day to arrive and say I do and just be married and just start that new chapter of their lives together. And so their love is so strong that they will do anything for each other because they're that crazy about each other. And that brings us to the final track on the standard edition of this album, Timeless, which is the title track also. A strong closing track. The instrumentation here is pretty strong. By far Meghan's strongest vocal showcase on the album. This love song has the potential to become a wedding song or simply a song that can be slow danced. Meghan references Final Breath, the closing track on her previous album, Taking It Back. She also references Foolish, a deep cut of her Love Train EP. The key change towards the end of the song makes the conclusion of the album feel even more exciting. And in this song, Meghan talks about the love she shares with her husband and how no matter what happens, its foundation is so strong that it's timeless. Even with all the uncertainty in the world, one thing they know for sure is that the love between them won't ever stop. So this is a pretty beautiful song all around, sonically, like the music itself is pretty romantic, and the production, and the instrumentation, as I already said, but especially the lyrics here are pretty brilliant. It's a pretty beautiful message of a love that is so strong that it's timeless, that no matter what happens, nothing can tear it apart. Okay, so that was the album. Now, overall, this is a solid pop album, a step up in quality from Meghan's previous album, Taking It Back, and the album is pretty consistent all throughout in terms of quality and production. Now, when comparing this album to the rest of Meghan's discography, do I consider this to be her best body of work yet? No. I consider her third album, Treat Myself, as her best album to date. Now, briefly going over her discography, we have her debut album, Title, which was an outstanding debut album. All the singles were chosen wisely, and this is her most successful album to date. Then we have her second album, Thank You. Here, Meghan opted for a darker color palette for this era. Like, she even dyed her hair like reddish. We got to see a more badass and confident Meghan this time around, especially in songs like No. Meghan only built upon her already established brand of self-love and empowerment here. Then we have the Love Train EP, a short and sweet appetizer in between Meghan's second and third studio albums. This EP was released just in time for that year's 2019 Valentine's Day, and its songs really captured that theme. Then we have the third album, Treat Myself. So here Meghan tells the love story that went down with her now husband Daryl, which she kicks off by singing about overcoming a former lover, and caps up by singing about how she feels whole with Daryl by her side. All the songs in this album are pretty solid. There are exciting features on the album, such as Nicki Minaj and the Pussycat Dolls. The album is quite varied sonically. Meghan's lyricism has truly come a long way since the title album, and Meghan is at her most vulnerable and mature at this point in her discography. Then we have the fourth album, Taking It Back. Here, Meghan bounced back with her first hit in 6 years with Made You Look. And that brings us to this fifth album, Timeless, which we just reviewed. So, what score do I give Timeless? I give it a strong 4 out of 5 stars. So yeah, guys, that was my review for Timeless by Meghan Trainor. Before I go, make sure to follow Pop and Bop on all social media for more content. It's basically Pop and Bop on all social media. And yeah, guys, this has been Pop and Bop. I'm Emilio Fernandez. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time when we review Camila Cabello's fourth studio album, CXOXO. Catch you next time.